Your body always tries to warn you before it breaks. The problem is, you don't speak its language. 9. Parosmia, when scents turn against you. A regular person smells chocolate and senses sweetness, warmth, and comfort. Someone with parosmia smells chocolate and thinks they're standing next to an open dumpster. This condition doesn't kill you right away, but it dismantles your sense of taste like a slow-motion crash. Your olfactory nerves are damaged, then regrow with all the precision of crossed wires. The result is that your brain can't tell morning coffee from chemical runoff. Food starts getting flagged as toxic waste by mistake. Grilled meat smells like decay. Your child smells like industrial trash. From there, every meal becomes a form of low-grade psychological torture. Many people survive for years on plain boiled potatoes. No smell, no taste, no incentive to eat. This condition usually follows severe sinus infections, head injuries, or complications after COVID. There is no cure, no treatment plan, no redemption arc. And the worst part? You can't smell gas leaks, spoiled food, or sour milk. Your brain ignores all scent-based warnings because the wires are crossed. At this point, your nose works like a delivery driver who's permanently lost. Parosmia doesn't kill you quickly. It just keeps you alive long enough to mistake espresso for a sewage plant. 8. Finger clubbing. When fingertips turn into drumsticks. If your fingertips look like grapes and your nails bulge upward like tiny buoys, pay attention. That's not a cute nail bed. That's your body warning you it's running low on oxygen. Finger clubbing is how your vascular system files a silent complaint. When the lungs fall behind, blood vessels in the fingertips expand to scavenge more oxygen. Soft tissue thickens, and suddenly, your fingers look like they're lifting weights out of spite. No pain, no itching, just a shape shift that comes without a warning label. About 80% of people with these fingers have serious heart or lung conditions. Could be pulmonary fibrosis, could be lung cancer, or maybe your heart is quietly phoning it in without telling anyone. Doctors have noted this sign since the time of Hippocrates, and then ignored it for centuries because it looked well-behaved. You can test it by pressing your index fingertips together and checking for a diamond-shaped gap. If the gap is gone, it's not a manicure issue, it's a medical one. Some still layer on gel polish and call it a personal aesthetic. But nail art won't hide blood vessels stuck in permanent panic mode, and no set of acrylics is approved for the emergency room. 7. Corneal Arcus. The fat ring in your eye. A faint white ring around your iris might look like a trick of the light, but it's not light. It's cholesterol forming a perimeter on your cornea. When your body runs out of places to store fat, it sends it straight to your eyeballs, like spam. This is called corneal arcus. And no, it's not a lighting glitch. In older adults, it's a birthday card that says, "Congrats, you're still alive." In younger adults, it's a teaser for a cardiac event with no closing credits. If you're under 50 and you have this ring, your body already picked sudden death in the group chat. A 2011 study in Denmark found it predicts heart disease more accurately than your family tree. And unlike genetic tests, this one needs no labs, no forms, and no follow-ups. It shows up every time you open the front camera. You can ignore your doctor, but you can't will away a lipid halo. There's no eye drop that dissolves cholesterol like a grease trap, and no pair of sunglasses is thick enough to hide a collapsing circulatory system. This isn't a warning sign. This is the invoice. Past due. With interest. 6. Referred pain. When pain misses the mark. When your heart malfunctions, your brain forwards the pain to your left arm. This is called referred pain, a routing error in the sensory nervous system. Your skin and organs share the same signal cables, like two apps crashing the same cheap server. When your liver, kidneys, or heart cry for help, your brain mislabels the sender. It assumes the alert is coming from the skin and reroutes the pain to somewhere familiar. Liver pain shows up in your right shoulder. Kidney pain hits your lower back. A heart attack might introduce itself with a sharp jab in your jaw. Neck pain could be from sleeping wrong, or the last message your nervous system sends. In this system, misfires aren't flaws. They're part of the blueprint. Your brain doesn't know if you're sore from lifting weights or dying from a blocked artery. Some people Google back pain relief while their heart quietly locks the exit door. It's like sounding a fire alarm and dispatching rescue to a bakery because someone mistyped the ZIP code. Doctors have studied this for centuries. But in real life, it's why some people collapse thinking they just need a massage. When pain gets sent to the wrong address, most people don't get a second delivery. Some feel pain in the wrong place, and then nothing at all. 5. Halo nevus, the mole that disappears by itself. One morning, you notice a mole on your shoulder has disappeared without a trace. No pain, no bleeding, no explanation. It's not divine intervention. It's your immune system acting like an overzealous antivirus. This condition is called halo nevus, a self-destruction protocol aimed at pigment cells. A pale ring shows up like a graphic glitch, then the skin reverts to factory settings. Most of the time, it's just a harmless mole flagged during internal housekeeping. But if it was melanoma, a malignant skin cancer, you just wiped your strongest clue. And if the tumor had already entered your bloodstream, there's no trail left to follow. Some people only realize it happened when scrolling through old photos and noticing a mole is missing. No pain. No alert. Just an empty field in a medical record no one ever checked. Like a security camera cutting out right before the break-in. Not every vanishing mole is a win. Sometimes it's just your body erasing all the evidence, and you won't find out until it's too late. 4. Night sweats, a 3 a.m. flood. You wake up at 3 a.m. feeling like you've just been pulled out of a swimming pool. Your pillow, shirt, and mattress are soaked, and there wasn't even a nightmare. The air conditioner is on. The windows are closed. There's no clear reason for this. This isn't stress-induced sweating. This is clinical-grade night sweats. Possible culprits include antidepressants or menopausal hot flashes. But if it happens weekly, it stops being a side effect. Certain lymphomas release cytokines that hijack your body's thermostat. Your brain thinks you're on fire and opens every cooling system it has. You fall asleep in the cold and wake up in a steam room. No fever. No chills. No warning. Just a mattress soaked like after a chemical spill no one reported. Some people wash their sheets 180 times before discovering a tumor in their chest. The tumor was the size of an egg, not the breakfast kind. Night sweats don't leave behind a smell. They leave a laundry bill and an expiration date you never saw coming. 3. Xanthomas, wandering fat blobs. You spot a small yellow patch on your eyelid, and it has no reason to be there. It doesn't hurt, doesn't itch, does nothing useful, and refuses to leave. That's a xanthoma, a cluster of lipids that slipped out of circulation and needed a crash pad. When your blood gets overloaded with cholesterol, some molecules dock directly onto your skin. They usually appear on eyelids, elbows, knees, or buttocks, as if stopping for unscheduled maintenance. Most people mistake them for skin tags or a very unfortunate fashion statement. But xanthomas aren't cosmetic glitches. They're system alerts for high cholesterol, diabetes, or metabolic disorders nobody's checked. Sometimes, they're the only clue pointing to a genetic mutation with early death potential. Like a stroke at 25 because your arteries run on fryer grease. Some people got diagnosed by noticing one faint yellow warning light. Others never woke up to see what was staring back in the mirror. If you're lucky, it's just subcutaneous fat. If you're not, it's the final warning you ignored. Not because it killed you, but because it was the only voice that spoke, and you muted it. 2. Persistent hoarseness. The voice that refused to leave you were hoarse for a week and blamed the weather or the air conditioner. By week 2, you suspected the vents or too much iced coffee. By week 3, you still didn't understand why you sounded like a chatbot with a broken mic. The doctor gave you cough syrup, you drank it, then blamed the pharmaceutical industry. Your voice stayed raspy like a busted speaker, but you blamed the recording equipment instead. In many cases of laryngeal cancer, this is the only symptom that ever shows up. No fever, no cough, no pain, just your vocal cords being quietly corroded from the inside. The cause could be a polyp, acid reflux, or malignant cells expanding their real estate. If your hoarseness lasts longer than 14 days, medical guidelines say one thing: laryngoscopy. Not for fun, but because your body is flashing the account termination imminent warning. Caught early, your odds of surviving 5 years are around 90%. Wait until you lose your voice completely, and that drops to about 45. That's statistics talking, not optimism. Some people choose silence to avoid inconvenience. Others simply don't get to choose anymore. Your voice might be the final alert before the system goes permanently offline. And if you're still thinking, it's probably nothing, then you've clearly never read a coroner's report. 1. Chronic paresthesia. The silent shutdown. You feel numbness in your hand and shake it like a malfunctioning gadget. It stays numb. A week later, you mistype your password and drop your knife while spreading butter. It feels like stray electrical current is pulsing just beneath your skin. This isn't poor circulation. This is your nervous system slowly going offline. The cause might be a B12 deficiency, diabetes, nerve compression, or multiple sclerosis. Vitamin B12 is the insulation for your entire neural network. Without it, signals leak like chewed Ethernet cables in a flooded basement. Long-term vegans, chronic antacid users, and the blissfully unaware are all on the list. Some people never regain sensation in their hands, feet, or face. Others only notice something's wrong after spilling their 5th cup of coffee. If you felt pins and needles for 3 days with no obvious reason, that is the reason. It's the final alert before your body locks into permanent numbness mode. Shaking it harder won't help. Fried wires don't repair themselves just because you smacked them. The real question isn't, what's wrong with your hand? It's, how much longer will you even feel it?